Welcome to lesson 17, where it's about to get a little easier than what we've been doing in the past. So today we're going to be doing some things with strings. So set up string S1 to be the Dukes of Hazzard, string S2 to be coat room, and we're going to print some stuff too. And today we're going to learn some new methods. We're not creating them, so we're calm, but we're going to be using some new methods that are already built into Java. So what we're going to check out first is a method called compareTo. And with this method, what we're going to do is we're going to compare these two strings to each other. So do S1, and when you call in a method, remember, you have your object dot compareTo, and then open parentheses, and hinting to me right now that it wants you to put in another string. So let's put in S2. So let's run that and see what happens. And it gives us -15. So there are three things that the compareTo method can return. It's positive number, negative number, or 0. So you may be asking yourself what this -15 is. Well, if you recall back to our ASCII, remember how each character is a number value. So what it's really doing is, in this example, it's comparing capital T to lowercase c. So the answer it's giving you is capital T minus C in ASCII values. So if you figured out what capital T is, it's 84, and lowercase c is 99. So -15 is actually correct. Now don't do this one so that your code is still correct, but I just want you to watch what I'm going to do here. So if we swapped the two and we said that S2 is now the Dukes of Hazzard and S1 is now coat room, it's going to subtract T from C. So it's now 99 minus 84, which is going to give us a positive 15. So I'm going to swap mine back now that you've seen what that does. All right, and again, don't do this one, just watch what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste Dukes of Hazzard into where I had coat room just to see what happens. So it gives me 0. So that means that if the compareTo is accurate and they're both the same thing, your answer is going to be 0. I'm going to hit undo. Okay, so for our compareTo method, S1.compareTo S2 compares string S1 to string S2. You can only do this in strings. It compares the first character, and if they're the same, it's going to return a 0 for you. Our next method that we're going to look at is called IndexOf. And what this does is it tells you the index inside the string. So you may recall that, like, if we're looking at the Dukes of Hazzard right here, that starts with index 0, 1, 2, 3. So all of those are the index inside your string. So that's what we're looking at here. So I'm going to copy and paste this amount print. And again, we're calling on a method. So we're going to do S1 dot and then do index of. Then we are looking for where Hazzard is. And then we don't have enough parentheses, so close that extra parenthesis. So if we run this, it's going to give me -15 because of before, and then it gives me the answer of 13, which if you counted, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is where Hazzard starts. So it tells me the index where that actually starts. So something you can actually use this for is if you don't want to search an entire string, which, I mean, this is pretty short, but at the same time, you could know that there's another one, you need to find another location. So if we wanted to start searching from index 5, which would be right here, you put in (5) and run it. Okay, and it brings back -1. It should have given us 13 still because that's still correct. So if we look, -1 is not an index. It starts with index of 0. So if you get -1 as an answer, something is wrong. And if you look here, I put that 5 in the quotes It's not where it belongs because it would look for hazard, comma 5 and a string. So if you put comma and the 5 outside of it, it'll start at index 5 and still give us 13. All right. Now if I started this at 15 instead of 5, it's going to give me an error, -1, because we're starting in the middle of the word and there's not the whole word from there forward. So that's one of the issues you'll run into. You can also actually use this to find certain characters also. So if we're looking for a character, remember characters are single apostrophes. I'm going to look for capital B. So, and I'm going to have to close another parenthesis. So it should give us 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as our result. So let's go ahead and run it. And it does. Okay, so you can look for whole words and start at a certain location. You can look for characters. And you can also look for characters given their ASCII code. So if you know what capital B is in ASCII off the top of your head like I do, it's 68. And then if you go ahead and hit run, it gives you 4 again. So we can do a lot of things with IndexOf. So we can look for a string, we can look for a string starting in a certain location, we can search for a character, or we can even search for a character based on its ASCII code, which would be an int. Now you can also use this strategy with both char and int. So you can still put the comma int at the end to figure out where in the string your char or your character given the ASCII code actually shows up. Now we're also going to look at a very similar one called lastIndexOf. So IndexOf finds the first occurrence of what you're looking for, or if it helps you to think of it this way, it's looking from the left side. So it starts reading left to right, just like normal people do that, read English, and finds the first occurrence. The last index method does the exact opposite. So it's going to find the last occurrence of something, or if you want to think of it this way, it starts looking from the right side. So it doesn't start counting from the right. It still counts, 0 to whatever, but that's where it's finding whatever it is you're looking for. So let's do a quick example. So I'm going to find the last occurrence of lowercase z. So there's 2 of them. The first one is at 15, the second one is at 16, so we should get 16, and we do. So just remember, IndexOf is lowercase I, capital O, lastIndexOf is lowercase l, capital I, capital O. So lastIndexOf, you can use the exact same way as IndexOf. You can put in a string, a character, and int. You can tell it where to start, but it's just going to give you the last place. All right, you guys are ready to move on to the second video for lesson 17.